know that you're guilty most of the time. I'm not saying that there's some innocent people that that don't get investigated. I'm just saying most of the time when it's a worldwide, world known investigation, or it's like a big juicy investigation, most of the time they know that you're guilty, and they've known for quite some time. They just wanted to see whether or not you're going to redeem yourself and stop acting like that and get it together, get the help you need, and just get it together basically, or if you're going to keep behaving that way and getting worse. If people who see what's going on, are they going to make the report? Because even though they have probable cause, I know that in every situation it may not be suited to use probable cause. They may have to have a witness statement, or a victim come in and say something, or evidence, recording, or a consistency, a pattern of behavior, because most times, some people make a mistake or two or three or four and they're forgiven. But if there's a pattern of behavior like 24/7, then I can see why there would be like a major investigation, because they're trying to figure out how big the crime is. Most of the time they already know, but if it's like a really big crime, like say a case that involves like a child, or a pregnant woman, or like somebody that's like an elder, or somebody that's disabled, like those cases, those types of investigations are a big deal, and they want to make sure that they have the right person. They want to make sure that they have all the proof and all the evidence that they need in order to convict. And then when they're found guilty, they're already mentally and emotionally prepared to give the fair and just verdict. So I understand that process, but it's some people that are higher up, like corrupt judges and corrupt like senators and stuff like that, that are neglecting what's clear as day. Like the police, they're for the most part they're doing their job. There's still some corrupt ones. There's still some imperfections within the police department, but I have to admit that I've noticed some major improvement with the police. I've noticed a lot of when they started shutting a lot of them down for these child trafficking cases and human trafficking, like slave labor and slave labor and like these prostitution cases where they force young girls and teenagers and even some vulnerable adult women into prostitution, like forcing them into it. A lot of the police start cracking down on that stuff. They start cracking down on that stuff, and a lot of corrupt cops got fired. But there's unfortunately a lot of security guards that think that they're police officers. Like they want to be police officers, but they're emotionally and mentally like unstable. Like you can tell, like because the security guard is like the test to see, are you ready to be a cop? And a lot of security guards, I've been noticing, like they've been security guards for a long time, and they gonna stay that way because they are emotionally unstable, and a lot of times they abuse their power, and they pick on the wrong people. A lot of the times, I definitely would not say the police are not the problem in this situation. Not as of right now. They're really not. It's the security guards that are, a lot of times they are hyped up. They got their adrenaline pumping because, I don't know, maybe they feel unsafe. They don't have a gun. I think the reason why Alfonso had his homies with him, and I think the reason why they be ganging up on me, is because they don't want to come towards me alone. I think it's getting to the point where they pushed far enough to where they're scared to be caught alone. Because it's like when you harass somebody and you disrespect them and you do them dirty, like, I know if it were me, I would be worried that they would want retribution. Like they would either beat my ass or hurt me real badly. So I would probably have a group of people that were with me to make sure that didn't happen, or protect me in case they decide to lash out. Because think about it. I wasn't in any harm. And when I started recording, I'm like, I don't have any weapons. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I'm just trying to get everybody's name. And the police didn't have a problem with that because they know that that's protocol. Like, they know that they're supposed to identify themselves, period. So they got their names. If you got the name on the shirt, that means that's probably a recruit, somebody that's like in training, a security guard in training most of the time, and they're supposed to already know to identify themselves. But they're also supposed to know that if their superior is asking them to abandon the task that they have at hand and come see about them, that you don't tell them, hold on, wait, I'm gonna go deal with this first. Like, no, your boss called you at that specific time so that you could leave me alone and come do your job like you were supposed to. So I hope he gets fired. I hope him and the rest of the 3 other security guards that were there, even the one that was off duty, I hope they get fired. I'm hoping that this video will, it may need to be more, but they need to be fired because they've been bullying me for quite some time. They've been going around bullying me for quite some time. Like, they've been going to homeless shelters and bullying me, and talking inappropriately. Like, they're just breaking the law straight up, and they're in a position to where they're not supposed to be acting like that. Whether they're on the clock or off the clock, they're not supposed to be acting like that, and they shouldn't have their job anymore. So I wanted to speak on that. And like I said, the constant following me around. And like, for example, today I got on the bus, because I was trying to find somewhere to get dinner. And I got on the bus, and the bus driver, like, there was like maybe about 3 or 4 other people that got on the bus and they didn't pay their fare. They didn't pay their fare at all. But he didn't say nothing to them, but he said something to me. I was the only person that he said something to. I swear I was gonna remember the name of the bus route. I think it was like 181-745. I think that was the bus route number. Like the number. It was like, I think it was around, what time did I leave? What time did I catch that bus? I want to say it was like 5:40 maybe. And it was 181-745, I think. That was a bus number. And I asked the bus driver his name. And the reason why I asked for his name was, not so that I can find him later, but because, I feel like, I'm being kind of forced to, because there's a lot of people that are like bullying me, like they're aggressors. And they're using illegal tactics to dominate me. And people who do that, they need to be held accountable. Like, what I'm saying? Like, these people, they gang raped me, and they're treating me like I did something wrong. And that type of behavior is unacceptable to treat somebody like that. Like I'm getting all types of death threats, what I'm saying? And like, I'm pregnant, you know what I mean? And they're like assaulting me, putting their hands on me, grabbing me, touching me inappropriately, and I'm a lot of times I ask them to stop, or I tell them to stop, and they just won't stop. And it's like the type of person that would try to murder a pregnant woman after that person was gang raped. And then, to make matters worse, you're making fun of the rape, you're publicizing the rape, you're following the victim 24/7, you're trying to humiliate the victim, you're blocking this person's finances, you're intentionally force-feeding the victim foods that you know is going to hurt the pregnant woman's body and the baby. On top of the fact that you're putting food poisoning in my food, on top of the fact that you're putting lead poisoning and you're, in my water, and you're giving me contaminated water that you know is going to make me and the baby sick. Like, a lot of times they'll put drugs, sometimes they'll spike the water with vodka, or they'll put like some type of date rape drug in my water. And like, all this is happening while I'm carrying a child. And they're treating me like I did something wrong when they gang raped me. They gang raped me, right? And the only response that they have is something inappropriate. The only thing they have to say is, stop talking. Stop talking to yourself. Shut the fuck up. You talk too fucking much. The only response they give physically is walking up closely behind me to try to see if they can get away with attacking me without me being able to defend myself. Or trying to scare me and intimidate me. Like Sierra, for example, she's been following me everywhere. Everywhere I go, she'll follow me. Whether it's Florida, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Houston, Wisconsin, Chicago. It doesn't matter where I go. She's always following me around, being passive aggressive. And so there was this tactic that she would do while I was sleeping where she would try to scare me in the middle of the night to induce a heart attack, so that when there was a coroner report, like say if something bad happened to me, God forbid, but if something bad happened to me and I was to pass away in my sleep because, a heart attack, then it would look like natural causes, or it would look like, say, I wasn't eating healthy and then maybe my blood pressure rise or something like that. But she was intentionally doing that to kill me in my sleep, to make it look like it was natural causes, but it was her. It was her trying to kill me. Like, she's used many methods. She's poisoned my food. She's put shit in my food. She spiked my drink multiple times. She'd scare me in the middle of the night. Sometimes she would try to sneak up on me and attack me, like whether she would try to stab me or she'd have a gun. Sometimes she would have a gun and she'd try to shoot me. She's done multiple things to try to take my life away. And most of those events that took place while she was attempting to murder me was while I'm pregnant, during pregnancy. She's not the only one. It's also my sister,